Now for the morning rush, the trial against Fabian Gonzalez is going to look a little different after Gonzalez came up positive with COVID. Gonzalez will be placed in a glass box, double masked and separated from others. The state's expected to wrap up testimony with retired cold case detective Richard Lewis. Then the defense will take over. Hundreds gathered at the pit to pay their respects to Bernalillo County Sheriff's Lieutenant Fred Beers, who was killed in a recent helicopter crash, along with 3 other first responders. Public services are scheduled over the next week for the other 3 first responders. That's Under Sheriff Larry Corin, Deputy Michael Levison, and Bernalillo County firefighter Matthew King. This morning, there are calls for state senator to step down while sexual harassment allegations are being investigated. While the legislature investigates, groups including Common Cause New Mexico are asking that State Senator Ivy Soto be benched from the 4 committees that he currently serves on. Ivy Soto says he is horrified by the accusations and continues to deny them. Erica.
And here's a look at our hourly forecast this morning. Temperatures starting in the upper 60s, nice and comfortable, a little humid out there. We'll be climbing through the 70s most of this morning, giving you some time to get out before temperatures warm up.
Homeless camps in one Albuquerque area now threatening to put one daycare out of business. The owner of Love and Care says people are constantly trespassing and trashing up her property. Now she's losing clients. The mayor says his administration is working on better response times for reports of sidewalk encampments. Despite the announcement of the shutdown of Coronado Park, city workers are still making an effort to keep it clean. The city says it was their regular bi-weekly cleaning and maintenance. The final push will not happen until sometime next month to close it. Well, some of the drainage from the rain up north is making its way to the Rio Grande here in the metro. It's not going to be enough to get the river back to normal. The Middle Rio Grande Conservancy District says don't expect it to be up anytime soon. Besides the impact on agriculture and the ecosystem, there's another big risk to a dry riverbed, that is flash flooding. Erica.
And here's a look at our threat index. It is high today. We'll see scattered storms across the state with burn scar and flash flooding very likely.
Ancient Mexican artifacts that have been stored in Albuquerque are now heading back to where they belong. The Museum Foundation handed the sculptures over to the Mexican consulate in Albuquerque. The Mexican consulate says the Mexican government started a push 3 years ago to recover all antiquities from around the world. A local hot dog shop is calling on its customers to be on the lookout for their food truck. This after thieves left Dogos VIP without a key piece of their business. The trailer that's only been around for 7 months was stolen over the weekend. The couple did file a police report but have had no luck. New news for you this morning. Today, dozens of former Republican and Democratic officials are expected to announce a new national political party dubbed the Forward Party. It will be co-chaired by former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang and former Republican New Jersey Governor Christine Todd Whitman. Erica.
All right, here's a check on traffic this morning. The maps are looking clear, no accidents or slowdowns. And trackers going west on I-40 at the Big I. Everything is moving along.
Take a look at this video here. It's going viral. The Chincoteague Pony Swim making its return this morning after the event was postponed due to the pandemic. About 150 wild adult ponies will be herded across the Assateague Channel from Assateague Island to Chincoteague Island. How cool is that? We start with number 5 here. There's a new voice of Old Man Gloom this morning. Bernalillo County Judge Bill Parnell will provide Old Man Gloom's signature growling wail. The previous voice of Zozobra, Michael Ellis, stepped down from the role after a 10-year stint. This year's Zozobra will be on September 2nd. Number 4 now. Well, some of the drainage from the rain up north is making its way to the Rio Grande here in the metro. It's not going to be enough to get the river back to normal. Yesterday, water in the river near Central measured about 2.72 feet. A year ago at the same time, the Rio Grande was nearly 4 feet deep. It's been more than 30 years since it's been this low in the metro. Besides the impact on agriculture and the ecosystem, there's another big risk of a dry riverbed, that is flash flooding. Erica.
And number 3, we are going to see a flooding threat today with storms possible throughout much of New Mexico. We'll have a chance for storms in the metro and around the Sandias by the early afternoon.
Moving on to number 2 now. This morning we are remembering the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Lieutenant who was killed in a recent helicopter crash. Yesterday, hundreds gathered to pay their respects to Lieutenant Fred Beers. Friends, family members, and colleagues gathered at the pit yesterday, remembering Beers as a great husband and father who loved flying and serving his community. Public services are scheduled over the next week for the other three first responders. That's Under Sheriff Larry Corin, Deputy Michael Levison, and Bernalillo County firefighter Matthew King. Finally, number one for you this morning, the trial against Fabian Gonzalez is going to look a little different after Gonzalez tested positive for COVID-19. The judge in the case came up with a unique solution to continue this trial. Gonzalez refused to waive his right to be at his trial in person, saying he did not want to go virtual. So his attorney asked the judge to wait 7 days and then continue with the trial. However, Judge Leos has a different idea. In order to keep this trial on schedule, Gonzalez will be placed in a glass box right there, double masked and separated from others. A first for both sides, and Judge Leos hopes it's enough to keep Gonzalez present. The state is expected to wrap up testimony with retired cold case detective Richard Lewis. Then it will be the defense's turn, who's likely to bring up Michelle Martins, the mother of Victoria Martins.